Hey guys, it is day 202 and I am out here at, right now it's 7:14 in the morning. I need to get a little bit earlier of a jump so that I can get the cardio session that I want. Right now, I've got a metronome in my ear as I'm talking to you, going off at 115 beats per minute to hopefully get me into the zone that I need. I'm back at it today in the Nike Vomero 17s. I kind of consider these old reliables. Yesterday I did my strength training, lifted weights. I'm on a kind of 3-month rotation in terms of reps. So my first month I lift 65% of my max for like 8 reps. I'm not going for like super high reps. And then the second month I'm doing 80% of my max in 6 reps. And then the third month I am doing 90% of my max in 3 reps, and for each of those do 3 sets. And so the third month, by the time you get to the third month, it feels rather easy, but you're throwing up some pretty good weight. You're also giving your body a chance to kind of recover and get a good amount of strength, so that in glycogen stores and all of that, so that by the time you finish with the third month, you're ready to throw up a really good new maximum. Now, I've used that protocol in the past and it had produced some really impressive strength numbers. Now, I still looked, we'll call that shapely. I still looked like that, but the strength numbers and overall strength was just off the chart. I mean, not compared to a freaking strong man, but for me, it was ridiculous. It's a pretty nice feeling when you can get or go into a place like a Planet Fitness, even though they don't have like a ton of weight on their machines, but when you can just throw that full stack up kind of like it's nothing. Well, that's where I got to a few years ago. It's been a while. Sadly, I stopped working out and training and I lost pretty much all of that strength. Until now, I've never tried to do the full picture. Better nutrition, better lifting, and cardio. The last part of that picture, I mean, I would love to add in like calisthenics, stretching, and all of that. And then I would love to get better amounts of sleep, but I just don't have like the hours in the day. I wish I did. Yesterday was rough. I stood on my feet a lot. My feet were burning by the end of the day. I had only gotten in about a 30-minute session in the morning of cardio. Then I wanted to do a second session at the end of the day, and I did, but I chose to do it in a hot parking lot like an idiot, with asphalt just surrounding me. It was already 94 degrees, so it really didn't do anything for me other than to help break me down. So by the time I got home after the car ride, I got out of the car, I could barely walk. Then I get into the house and I have to spend several hours on the couch just recovering. Took a little nap or whatever, and then had to get up and lift, you know. Then my 6-year-old little boy wanted to wrestle, and of course I have to wrestle him, but the whole time I'm thinking, God. And then eventually I had to say, all right, little man, I'm done. I'm done. My body is tired. But I do keep an eye on my cardiovascular scores. I don't know if they actually mean anything in the health app, through Apple's health app. My heart rate recovery for the most part is okay. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's okay. It's in the 30s, like today it was 31, but sometimes it will go up. And most of the time it stays within that low 30 mark. I'm not really sure. I've looked into it a little bit, and I've been told that was an okay score. Nothing wonderful, but nothing bad either. And then I keep an eye on my heart rate variability, and I guess that is a score that pretty much measures in some way your nervous system and how it's kind of working, and whether or not it's super stressed. So if your score is high, then you're ready to rock. Your body is just primed for good activity. If the score is low, then of course you need to prioritize rest. And so I'm constantly monitoring that, and again, it's using, I don't know how it figures it, but somehow it measures the heart and it gives you a score. So again, I don't know anything about it other than you want a high number with that. And then finally, I've been monitoring VO2 max, and my score was, when I first started, it was in the toilet, and it's still pretty much in the toilet. It started out like at 24, and 31 is considered low. So I was like in the toilet. But now I'm like 28.7 as of yesterday. And then I'm constantly monitoring it. I did have it higher, never out of the low category, but I did have it higher, and I was super pleased. And then the Kentucky heat and humidity came through, and I started noticing a constant decline in that score. Very, very frustrating. But this brisk pace that I'm walking at is supposed to be putting me into zone 2. It seems like it is when I look down at the watch. And I noticed that when I do about an hour of that zone 2, that when I'm finished with the session, after a couple minutes, my VO2 max score like goes up. Now, when I first started training, I noticed that score didn't go up very often. It was like you were fighting for just a tenth of a point after several sessions. You might go 4 or 5 sessions and you never see a rise in that. And it just takes quite a while to build that. But when I noticed I was working in zone 2 and I'd get finished, and after just a short rest, look down and I see that it's bumped up, you know, a tenth of a point or 2/10 of a point, in one case 3/10 of a point. That's amazing. Well guys, I've blabbed enough. Thanks for being here. Thanks for subscribing. You all take it easy. I will be out here tomorrow for a long run. Woo!